So in February this year, I started selling beats online. I did this without any knowledge of the market, what you're supposed to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been a music producer for the past 6 years doing freelance work, but I'd never sold beats online and I didn't really know how to. But I thought, hey, I'm going to jump in the deep end and I'm going to do this. And more importantly, what I have done wrong. And in today's video, I want to show you the 5 things that I have done wrong and 5 mistakes I made when starting selling beats online, so you don't have to make these 5 mistakes. And in return, all you've got to do is hit that subscribe button, as that is the best way to support the channel. So let's get into the 5 mistakes I made when I started selling beats online, and things that I also wish that I had done sooner. Starting with number 1, and that was prioritizing followers instead of email captures. Now, for those of you who are BeatStars, even on Airbit as well, you will know that when you enable the feature to give free downloads in exchange for a follow or an email, I had been doing this since the start. From the little bit of research I'd done at the start, realized that that is something that a lot of beat makers did. So hey, I thought I'm going to put a free download on all of my beats. And at the time, it was in exchange for a follow. And that is one of my biggest regrets to date. Because to date on BeatStars, I have over 320 followers, I believe. Because most of the followers that I get was down to the free download in exchange. One thing that I've massively learned since starting to sell beats is the importance of email marketing and marketing to gain traffic into your beat store. Followers, again, is a little bit of a metric which doesn't really hold its value as a business or a beat seller anymore, because most of the time it is actual other beat makers that are following you on BeatStars. And then again, artists as well, a lot of them who might be guests or have new accounts may follow you once but then never really check out your beats again. But if you were to capture their email, then you could message and reach out to them again and again when you drop new beats, new updates, when you do discount and sales on your beat store. So it's just a no-brainer that if you had the ultimatum, would you rather have someone as a follower on BeatStars, for example, or an email? I'd always opt for email. And I really wish I'd done that at the start. So again, always prioritize capturing some sort of information rather than just a follow, because a follow doesn't really mean a lot anymore. So yeah, I really wish that I had prioritized capturing emails over followers when it came to the free downloads and BeatStars at the start. Number 2 mistake that I made with beat selling at the start was being too broad for too long on the type of beats I was making. I have emphasized this a lot on the channel, and that is to listen to your data and refine your craft to a niche. Know what you're good at and also but know what's doing well. Yes, it is important to post maybe what it is that you're good at posting, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to sell a product, if you have something that is doing better, for example, a certain type of type beat, then it's a no-brainer to go with that. I made the mistake at the start of just trying to fit into the big fish, small pond narrative, where if I do something that a lot of people are doing, surely that's what works. I was even doing stuff like trap beats. I can't say I've ever listened to trap beat, can't ever say I've produced trap beats. And I did produce some beats where I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. But they just didn't work for me. They never took off, getting hardly any views at all. And it just wasn't working. And again, I did this for other more commercial pop sounds. But again, the problem that I found I was coming across on the channel was none of the beats were really taking off. I wasn't looking into any of the sort of niches and seeing if there's anything that I can maybe target to do better. And it wasn't till a long time in where, for me personally, I realized that the acoustic, country pop, Taylor Swift, and even loud type beats were the ones that did well, and I really wish I'd started doing them sooner, because I feel like I could have made a lot more beat sales to date if I started this sooner, if I just listened to the data. And the data was there literally from the first couple months of uploading beats. I uploaded a couple of Taylor Swift beats and they took off. But I thought at the time, I was naive and I thought, hey, they did well. Maybe that's just my channel picking up. So I'm just going to keep uploading different beats and just seeing what takes off. That shouldn't be the attitude. Listen to your data. I do want to emphasize though, it is okay to start broad, because you got to try and figure out what does well for you. Maybe producing a couple different styles. But when you latch onto that certain beat that does well for the first time on your channel, replicate that, but be original at the same time. And you will see a lot more explosive growth on your channel. Mistake number 3 that I made was I was not consistent enough at the start. And what I mean by that is I was uploading quite frequently. Sometimes I'd upload 2 beats a day at one point when I had loads of backlog of stuff. Other days then I wouldn't upload for like a week at the start. And I think that really sort of hindered my progress at the start, because I didn't get into a rhythm. So I was constantly in them flurries where I'd produce loads of beats one day, but then I wouldn't produce any beats for 5 days. And I feel like if I'd just been consistent, I probably would have uploaded more beats today if I just focused on a more realistic timescale of being consistent to how I operate and how quickly I can upload and make a beat. Yes, it is like a good idea to sort of rush and get as many beats up as you can, but sometimes that can really mentally exhaust you, or you could overexert yourself. meaning that you're not going to be consistent. And if you're not consistent, then you don't get into that routine. And if you're not in a routine, sometimes it can put you outside your comfort zone a bit too much, and it can affect the overall quality of the beats you produce. So stick to a rhythm that is consistent to you and stick to that. At the tail end of this year, I am uploading once a day at least. And that is only because I know I can do it, and I've got myself into a routine and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm more passionate about making productions than ever for beats, so it works for me. So I'm doing that at the moment and I'm sticking with that for the near future. But for you, it might be different. Maybe you can only upload once or twice a week. It's completely okay, just as long as you know and you can say to yourself that when you're producing beats, it's of good quality that you're very impressed with. You know it's up there with like your best work. Not every beat you upload has to be your best work, but you know that you're putting your time. Not only are you enjoying it, but it's uploading and you're at least sticking to it. I would advise that you do aim for between 3 to 5 uploads a week if you really want to start seeing some proper growth. You don't have to do it every day. You've got to give yourself time off. So yeah, 3 to 5 beats a week is a very good target to aim for, and just make sure, again, as one of my previous points, you niche yourself. Mistake number 4 that I did was not utilizing other social media platforms sooner to promote beats. I, in the past month, as you've seen in some of my videos, have made so much more money since getting an Instagram account specifically just for promoting beats and messaging artists on. It's silly to think that it's something that's so simple, but yet we completely ignore. We get into a routine maybe of uploading on a YouTube type beat channel, which is a very classic sort of advertiser for beat makers, as well as uploading onto BeatStars or whatever beat store you have. But there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's SoundCloud, there's AudioMac. That I could literally go on. There's so many social media places where you can promote your beats. And it doesn't matter if you're not getting a sale every day from the social media platforms. It's just more opportunity and more exposure to your beats. So by doing it, you're definitely going to get like a couple more sales going forward in long run. So it's just a no-brainer. And for me on Instagram, it's been a massive benefit, where I started a social media account on Instagram with the sole purpose of just messaging artists and having a little bit of a catalog on Instagram with the links to drive more traffic to my website. And to date, it has worked. So again, I wish I had done this a long time ago, but I didn't. And mistake number 5 that I didn't do, and this one was more to a couple months in, once I had actually found a niche that was doing well for me, was I didn't do the research on fellow niche producers sooner to see what they were doing. Now, this isn't to copy what they're doing, but sometimes it's very good to see the market. Like all businesses do it. You do competitor research because that's part of the business. You've got to understand the market. And there's no better place to understand the market than your fellow producers who are sending beats. They have similar artists to what you're targeting. They upload similar beats. Maybe they upload a consistent pattern that maybe you should be replicating. Or maybe it's something so simple down to the sort of hashtags that they use in their beat styles or airbits, metadata. Like, you've got to know all this sorts of information, because you never know what gems you're going to find when you're seeing what other producers are doing. Now, don't get me wrong, the one thing I would strongly advise you don't do is copy what other producers are doing to a T. One, because things are so algorithmic nowadays and metadata based that all these sites can tell if you're just copying someone else, and they won't push it because they're looking for originality and they're looking for, retention as well. So you've just got to find your own way to grip in artists to listen to your beats and try and produce the best beats you can. Again, everything down to the branding, and go from there. Now, don't get me wrong, there's no short-term key to success to where they are. This still takes time. They've been doing this sort of thing for years, but just sort of seeing what they're doing, you can sometimes see what it takes to get to the level they're at. So again, do the competitor research and do the research into your niche, what artists are releasing new albums, and maybe try and target doing beats when, for example, when Taylor Swift recently released her new album, I was straight on the type beat channels for her album, and I saw some explosive growth on my type beat channel for it. So these are the sort of things that you have to consider. And again, I just want to throw one more little bit of advice in there, and I say it a lot on the channel, but please, please, please be patient. There is no short-term explosive growth hack for type beat selling. Literally, you've just got to grind so hard. You've got to work hard. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to upload consistently. You've got to create a multitude catalog of beats, because again, at the end of the day, treat yourself as a business. You want to have a nice expansive catalog of beats. And it only takes that one beat. On my type beat channel, I've had that one Taylor Swift beat, which I think has started the ascendancy in growth way about like 5 months ago, and I'm still getting the most views on it out of any other beat on my channel every single day. It still gets the most views, and if I didn't have it there, I just wouldn't be getting as many views. So again, just keep the faith, keep uploading consistently, and it only takes a couple of beats to really get your beat store business going. So yeah guys, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, again, hit that subscribe button, as it is the best way to support the channel. And also comment below any other videos or any topics you want me to talk about, not only in beat selling but in music producing in general as well. I'm always open to new content ideas, and you guys are the ones who should be the driving force behind it. But yeah guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.